February Battlescroll update for Ironjawz. Oh boy. People are so excited. So excited. Okay, so let's look at some changes to the game. So the Wizard Finder Battalion now has a 5-up Spell Ignore attached to it as well. And there is a new battle tactic for Nullstone Adornment heroes that can test an objective that your opponent controlled at the start of your turn. So a War Chanter with a Pouch of Null Dust who steps onto an objective that your opponent controlled at the start of your turn now has a battle tactic. So turns out Ironjawz got a battle tactic buff. Both of these are potential buffs for Ironjawz, but realistically I think that Ironjawz want to be low drops, so I don't think that we'll be taking Wizard Finders. But the Nullstone Adornment thing is quite interesting, because now it's not just having a Nullstone Adornment, it's also having this battle tactic, which is cool. Like, I like that. So, like, I'm not sure. I think that it's worth some play testing. So now what you're doing is you're trading Hand of Gork / Hoarfrost, right? For turning off their primals. To be honest, let's actually look specifically at what Pouch of Null Dust does. Once per battle, at the start of the hero phase, you can say that the bearer will use their Pouch of Null Dust. If you do so until the end of that phase, unmodified casting rolls that include double ones, double twos, or double threes are treated as miscasts. Or, if a primal magic dice was rolled as part of the casting roll, it counts as a primal miscast. In addition, roll a die for each endless spell on the battlefield. On a 5-up, that endless spell is dispelled. So, seems good. Getting rid of the endless spells is okay. I'm not sure how many endless spells you're seeing. I'm not seeing a ton right now, so that's probably like whatever. It's just a little bit of a bonus, but are you having trouble with Starborn Seraphon, where they're casting 13 times at you? Well, hey, guess what? Pop this. Pop this on turn 1. Be low drop. Say you're going second. Pop your Pouch of Null Dust. Go ahead. You want to throw a bunch of mortals at me? Well, hope you're not rolling doubles. Hope you don't roll doubles. Doubles 1, double 2, double 3. Good luck with your primals. I dare you to roll primals. I don't know the math. I'm not a math guy. But I think if you roll 2d6, the probability of one of those two dice being a 1, a 2, or a 3 is quite high. Right? It's quite high. You're rolling 2 dice here, right? And then if both of them, if you roll like a 1 and a 2, it's like, well, you want to try to roll the primal at that, right? It's like, bring it on, man. Like, go ahead. You're basically going to shut off. You're going to put a huge damper on your opponent's casting for one turn. Be it turn 1, be it turn 2. You're going to be like, good luck with that. Best case scenario, they're way more hesitant. A lot fewer of their spells. They cast a lot fewer of their spells. A lot fewer of their spells go off, and there's miscasts. And best case scenario, they're just primal miscasting all over the place. They're like, I'm going to throw dice anyway. Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Things start blowing up because it does like an AoE mortal wound, right? So, like, let's just see. Primal miscast, right? Don't forget. Yeah, the caster suffers D3 plus 3 mortal wounds. So, little 4, little 5, little 6 wound wizards, right? If you have a 5 wound wizard and you primal miscast, it's a D3 plus 3. If you're 5 wounds, like you're going down, right? And it's also D3 plus 3 for each other unit within 3 inches of the caster. They also suffer D3 mortal wounds, and they're done casting. You're gonna make Croak do a check, right? And he's done casting. You have a bunch of spells and you primal miscast. Like, with the addition, I always thought that the Nullstone Adornment was interesting. I always thought it was, in Ironjawz, I always thought it might be very good. But with this battle tactic being added onto it, I think it's definitely worth playtesting, right? We're trading Hand of Gork, but we're pretty fast anyway. We're trading Hoarfrost, but we have an Ironjawz Y anyway. So, I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments. Join the Discord. Let's talk about it. Super curious. Points changes. Whew, our big pig's good now. So, The Ardboy point reduction mattered in Big Wa. I don't think it matters in Ironjawz. I don't think we're still playing Bloodtooth and Ironjawz. Weird Brute Rekkas I still don't think are very good. Zogrock I still don't think is very good. Tusk Boss I still don't think is worth taking. I wrote some lists. I think it's worth checking out now that he's 30 points cheaper and he can take Fast and Destroyer. It's like, okay, we can have a conversation, right? Hack and Crew I think might be actually really good in Ironjawz. I always wanted him to be good before. I think he might be really good now, 30 points cheaper, we'll see. And the Gougers I think might actually be good in Ironjawz now, 20 points cheaper. They're 10 points cheaper than Gorgruntas. Definitely worth checking out. Gordrak, we're not playing Gordrak. He'd have to be like I'm not even sure if I'd consider him at 400 points. Maybe I would start to think about him at 400 points. If he was 400 points, you could put him with Tusk Boss as the general with Destroyer, and he deals almost as much damage as Destroyer all by his lonesome, right? With his Smashin' and Cunnin, with his I think it's one. I can't even remember what they are, but I'll just look it up real quick here. Yeah, so Smasha, if the unmodified wound roll for an attack made with Smasha is a 4-up and the target is a hero, but not a wizard, they suffer 2 mortal wounds and the attack sequence ends. So it's 6 or 4-ups to wound is an auto hit and does mortals. It's good, right? And then the other one, it's just if it's a wizard, right? So one's for wizards and then one's for heroes, and they do the same thing. So they end up dealing some pretty decent damage, but the 4-up save is the thing that really hurts him. But if you keep dropping him in points, maybe we'll take him if we keep dropping him in points. So, but our big pig's good now. So you start with 1 momentum, right? All the pigs start with 1 momentum. So that means by combat on turn 2, sorry, I should start at the beginning. The way that they changed unstable momentum is you lose 1 at the end of the round now, not the end of the turn. This was the change that I proposed when I was reviewing them at the beginning, because the math is off. If you're losing 1 a turn, you're not generating momentum over the course of the game. You're just not. So now they've changed the math. So that means by combat on turn 2, you've generated 2d3 momentum. You start with 1. And you've lost 1 at the end of turn 1, so you're generating 2d3. So the average is 4. 4 is the magic number. It's where we can run and charge, and it's where we get our monstrous action. So on average now, we will be getting this by turn 2. There is a 66% chance that you will be able to use run and charge and the monstrous action on turn 2. Turn 3, the probability goes up to even higher. It's close to 100% by turn 3. So what does this mean? Well, it means that we can rely on this more. It also means that if you're playing multiple big pigs, that you know the outcome of the first roll from turn 1 before you decide what to do with them on turn 2. So for example, if let's say you have 2 big pigs and you run them in 2 different directions on turn 1, your gore grunters are going in front, right? They're all buffed up and they're going in, and then your big pigs are sort of running up the sides of the board, getting ready to flank or what have you. Then if one of them rolls a 1 on the momentum, that means you know that it's unlikely on turn 2 that your run and charge is going to be up and ready to go. However, if you roll 3 momentum on your first turn, then it means by turn 2, at the start of turn 2, you're going to have 3 momentum, right? And you are guaranteed a run and charge that turn. It lets you plan what you're going to do. That's cool. There's also a 33% chance that you can run and charge on turn 1. I don't know how good that is, but it means that if you have a hack and crew and you want to get, and they've left space for it in their backline, and you sort of did the math and you measured it out and you're like, I can definitely get there. You can you can run, you can cross your fingers, and you can get them, right? 1 in 3 chance ain't that bad. It's more about how consistent is this, how reliable is this, and I would say that the reliability of the momentum mechanic has increased significantly. It's increased significantly. It's definitely worth testing out and checking out. So, I don't know. I think this Battlescroll, Ironjawz definitely got a buff. We got a buff. We got a, potentially, we got a battle tactic buff. Big Pig's got a buff, right? I think that's about it, right? We're not playing Ardboys. We're not playing the rest of it, but Big Pigs might actually be good now. Play some games. Join the Discord. Tell me how they're going. Let me know what your lists look like. I'm super curious. Like, subscribe. Wah.